I'm Georgia, and I was here at ISKL from 1971 through 72. I was a sophomore, and I did graduate, but not from ISKL. Went back home. The year that we spent here was a terrific year. I had a chance to really blossom in a school that was small. If you wanted to do something, you could join and do it. I'd come from a big school, and I'd been very shy, and this was a great school to learn and grow and really get involved, and it was a wonderful experience. And many people here have talked about the diversity that was part of the culture and environment here, the wonderful adventure that it was to be here in Malaysia and experience all the different cultures that there were. We had lived overseas before, so I was familiar with different cultures and learning about new traditions and people and the way they are, and that was wonderful to experience it again. I really enjoyed the camaraderie and the inclusiveness of ISKL. The school really, as many people have said, there was a connection, and I think that connection for me was created by the fact that you never knew when someone would leave, and so the group of people that we had was there for that point in time, and you really had to engage in that time fully, because unlike the States where most people are in school from 1st through 12th together, here at any time someone's dad might get transferred and they would leave. And so you had to really enjoy everybody while they were here. And that created an intensity that isn't really replicated in many situations. So it really made you take advantage and to seize the day. My re-entry to the United States was a little bit different. We went from KL. My mom talked about this. We left after a year instead of 2 years because my dad's work. And we went to Paris. And I had a very amazing experience. I was tanned. At that time, I had really long, big hair. And I spoke schoolbook French. It was okay. But we went to a lycée because the American school would have been over an hour commute across Paris. So I went to the French lycée. And the first day that I went there, in the morning they thought I was Algerian because I was tanned and my French was okay. And Algerians were not very well regarded. But over the course of the morning, I was introducing myself to the teachers, and I was saying that I was American and that I was here for 6 months and all that. And so over the course of the morning, I watched people's attitudes towards me change. And it was really interesting because by noon, I was really cool. But in the morning, I had been not very cool. And so that was interesting because that experience of realizing how my identity how people's perception of me could change so dramatically based on nothing that I'd done. So it was just very interesting to learn the labels that people give you and things like that. So that was a very interesting experience. It ended up being wonderful, and it was an interesting buffer between my experience in Malaysia and then finally arriving home in Waterville, Maine, where we had lived since I was 3. Off and on. So returning to that culture, my parents were both professors, and every so often my dad would do an international assignment. So every time we came home from someplace, he was interviewed and it was on the front page of the paper and this and that. So that helped kind of ease the transition. So it made it very interesting for people, and that was handy. So, and that's all. It was a wonderful experience, and I enjoyed it very much.